Have you ever wondered why planes can fly upside down, and what makes this feat possible? It seems like something that should be impossible. After all, how can a plane defy gravity and still keep us safely in the air? Let's dive into the fascinating world of inverted flight and uncover the secrets behind this incredible ability. When we're flying normally, the shape of the wing, or airfoil, is designed to create lift by forcing air to move faster over the top surface than under it. This difference in speed creates a pressure difference, with lower pressure above the wing and higher pressure below, pushing the plane upward. But when a plane flies upside down, everything seems to turn on its head, literally. And here's the surprising part. Planes can fly upside down because they're designed with symmetrical wings. These special wings look identical from both top and bottom, meaning that whether we're right side up or upside down, the air still flows over them in a way that creates lift. In fact, pilots often practice inverted flight as an advanced maneuver to test the plane's systems and their own skills. So next time you're on a plane, look out for those symmetrical wings. And remember, no matter how you position yourself, the plane is always ready to keep you up in the air safely. Okay, so now that we know planes can fly upside down, let's dive into how they actually stay up there in the first place. The key is something called lift. But what exactly is lift? Well, imagine you're holding a piece of paper by one corner. When you blow across the top edge of the paper, it starts to rise, right? That's because as you blow, you're creating an area of low pressure above the paper and higher pressure below it. The difference in air pressure pushes the paper up. Lift. Now, here's where it gets really cool. Planes are designed with wings that work just like your piece of paper. These wings have a special shape called an airfoil. When air flows over the curved top surface of the wing and under the flat bottom surface, something similar happens to your paper. The faster-moving air above creates a low-pressure area, while the slower-moving air below generates higher pressure. This difference in pressure results in a net upward force, lift. It's like the wings are drinking air through straws. The faster the plane moves, the more lift it can generate. And that's what keeps the plane soaring, even when it's upside down. So, next time you see an airplane doing those amazing inverted loops, remember, it's a simple case of shape and air pressure working in harmony to keep everything flying high. Okay, so we've covered how wings work to generate lift when a plane is flying right side up. Now here's the surprising part. When a plane flies upside down, the angle of attack, or the angle between the oncoming airflow and the wing, is actually more critical than the orientation of the plane itself. Think about it like this. If you were to flip your hand over and wave it through water, you'd notice that as long as the part of your hand facing forward creates an angle with the direction of movement, water will push against it, creating resistance, just like lift on a wing. And here's the key bit most people don't often hear. As long as the wing is moving forward, it can create lift, regardless of whether the plane is right side up or inverted. The orientation of the plane doesn't matter nearly as much as you might think. What matters is that air flows over and under the wing at just the right angle. In fact, pilots trained to fly upside down do so by adjusting their speed and the angle of attack. Imagine pointing your hand towards a strong wind. Now flip it around so your palm is facing up. The wind still hits your thumb first because the angle has changed. That's kind of like flipping an airplane over. As long as that angle between the wing and air remains favorable, the plane can stay aloft. So next time you see a cool upside-down flying maneuver on an aerobatic plane, remember, it's all about that angle, not just the orientation. The wings are doing their job of creating lift, even when things seem topsy-turvy. But here's the surprising part. Flying upside down isn't just about creating lift. It's also about maintaining stability and control. This is where the magic of a plane's tail really comes into play. Think of your plane like a bicycle. Just as you need both wheels to keep balanced, a plane needs its tail to stay stable in the air. The tail acts as a stabilizer, keeping the nose from pitching too far down or up. It's like having an invisible brake on the back of a car, helping the plane maintain a steady trajectory. And then there are the ailerons. These are those little flaps on the wings that look like they're sticking out sideways. You might not know this, but these ailerons actually work in pairs, one on each wing, and they help the airplane roll and turn. When you twist one aileron down and the other up, it tilts the plane into a turn. It's just like when you lean to turn your bicycle. Now, here's where things get really interesting. To fly upside down, pilots need to use both the tail and the ailerons in a very specific way. They have to push the nose of the plane up using the elevator, part of the tail, while applying opposite aileron control on each wing. This creates that perfect balance needed for inverted flight. And here's why this is possible. Planes are designed with aerodynamic symmetry, meaning they can essentially fly just as easily in any orientation. The air moves over the wings and tail in such a way that keeps everything balanced, even when you're upside down. So, while flying upside down might seem like something out of an airplane movie, it's really all about the clever mechanics and control mechanisms working behind the scenes to keep things smooth and safe. Now, you might be wondering, if planes can fly upside down, why don't they do it all the time? Well, here's the deal. Imagine your plane is like a giant toy car on its roof. Fun to play with for a bit, but not exactly something you'd want to drive every day. Flying inverted or upside down is incredibly demanding, both for the airplane and the pilot. It's just not practical for regular flights. First off, flying upside down puts immense stress on the plane structure. The wings still need to generate lift, but now they have to work against gravity instead of with it. That means the engines have to provide extra thrust to keep everything aloft, and the airframe has to be incredibly strong to handle the stresses. Secondly, it's a workout for the pilot. Just like when you do handstands or headstands, your muscles are working overtime. Pilots go through intense training specifically for inverted flight because their bodies can experience some pretty crazy sensations. Blood rushes to your head, and it takes significant effort to maintain control with one hand on the stick and the other holding down an ejection seat release. Now, you might wonder if we just don't do this all the time because of these challenges. Actually, inverted flight is usually only done in very specific situations. Think of it like a stunt driver performing tricky maneuvers at a special event, not during your regular commute to work. Military pilots sometimes use inverted flight for certain types of training or special maneuvers where the plane needs to pull tight turns or execute precise aerial acrobatics. And then there are aerobatic performers, those flashy pilots who put on shows full of loops and rolls. These folks know exactly what they're doing and have strict safety protocols in place. So why don't we see planes flying upside down all the time? Simply put, it's a lot of extra work for no practical benefit during regular flights. The demands on the plane and the pilot are just too high to justify it as a normal procedure. Regular plane rides are all about efficiency and comfort. No handstands involved. So, to answer the question, planes can fly upside down because of the clever design of their wings and the principles of aerodynamics. Imagine you're holding a piece of paper at an angle. When you blow over it, it lifts up, right? That's a simplified version of what happens with airplane wings. The wings are curved on top and flat on the bottom, creating lift as air flows over them. And while inverted flight isn't something pilots do often, it's incredibly rare for airplanes to enter such an unstable state that they need to fly upside down. Modern aircraft, like the aerobatic planes you might see in a show or military jets, are specially designed to handle these kinds of maneuvers safely and efficiently. But here's the surprising part. Even though inverted flight is possible, it's not something you'd experience on a typical commercial flight. The pilots flying your plane are highly trained professionals who keep the aircraft stable and safe at all times. So while planes can technically fly upside down, you won't need to worry about ever seeing such a spectacle in your travels. If you're curious about more aviation secrets and want to learn even more fascinating details behind how airplanes work, be sure to subscribe for our insider knowledge and explanations that will take your understanding of flight to new heights. If you'll never look at a plane the same way now, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button